Well, we wanted to regale you with a few beauty tips before we left you today, because beauty is not always in the eye of the beholder, but it's something that, like glow, you feel from the inside out. And so Jackie has written a book. It's called Aging Backwards, Secrets to Staying Young. So if you're ever interested in knowing about her book, you can go to her website, agingbackwards.com, and purchase her book. I know I have a copy of it in my purse. I was going to hold it up, but I'll hold it up to you guys
see it later if you want. And Cynthia has a book too. And she has a wonderful book. And in fact, she was just on the doctor's with her book. What is it? Let's go get your book. We have your book here. And we actually have some copies. We don't have any copies of my book here.
We don't have any copies.
Oh, we don't have any? Okay. Well, anyway, we both have books. And we would just love to just tell you some secrets from our books.
Yes, we would.
So you go first.
Okay. A lot of people say to me, oh my goodness, I wake up still looking tired in the morning and I have puffiness under my eyes. Well, there are 4 things you can do right now to stop puffiness under your eyes. Number 1, you must sleep on a higher, firmer pillow. And I recommend a buckwheat pillow. But sometimes that isn't even enough to alleviate those under-eye puffiness bags that show up in the morning. So you've got to be very proactive by taking 2 old books that you might never look at again. I suggest phone books, and put them underneath the legs of the headboard of your bed so that you have that gentle sloping action which allows your under-eye area to drain more effectively. The second tip that I have for under-eye puffiness is to watch your salt intake. We both know that sodium is hidden in everything, don't we?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Especially if you eat out at restaurants.
Yes. So you must be very aware of the salt or sodium in your foods. Take a look at those ingredients, and if you see a high sodium content, you probably will want to avoid that. Number 3 is that you must increase your water, because water is the vibrancy of life, and you must have water in your diet on a regular basis to keep those under-eye bags at bay. But don't just sip that water, you've got to chug that water, because the body, the kidneys, understand flushing. So I once heard, one of those, what's her name, Martha Stewart, say, oh, well, I just sip water all day long, and I'm thinking, no wonder you have puffiness under your eyes.
I didn't say that.
I did. Because you have got to flush your body with that water. And if you drink adult beverages at night,
what are those?
What are those? You don't know. She just never takes anything. Anyway, if you drink adult beverages like wine or whatever at night, just know that for every glass of wine you have before bedtime, you must flush that out of your system by drinking 2 glasses of water. And I know I'm going to get groans on that, because that means you're going to be up during the night visiting the bathroom. Yes. But at least when you wake up the next morning, you're not going to have that puffiness under your eye.
And you probably won't even have a headache.
That's probably right. That's probably right. So Jackie, what about you? What kind of tips can you give women?
Well, I have lots of tips. And in fact, one of the reasons why I wrote the book is because I'm over 50 and I still get asked for ID to buy wine. It just happened in New York. I went to the San Gennaro Festival, which is the Italian festival, one of the festivals in Little Italy. And I was with a couple, and she looks like she's 25, so I don't know what was going on, because she was with her husband. They didn't ask her for ID, but they asked me for ID. I was with the 2 of them, and of course I loved it. Tried to take a picture of it, but it was too dark. I have a lot of tips, but what I want to kind of contribute today are the tips that you can do that are free. So you can do them forever. And, you know, if you just did like a few little things every day, those little itty-bitty steps that you take add up to huge results. I really have am so happy that I can say this, and Cynthia can attest to it, because she's seen it. I haven't changed since I was 25 years old. I have a picture of me, and I think it might be on somewhere, one of the blogs. It's a picture of me at 25 and me at 50, and I haven't changed in 25 years, and that's because every single day I pay attention to the fact that it's another day, and these are the things I need to do so that I can stay healthy and young and vibrant for the rest of my life. And here's the first free tip. They call it beauty rest for a reason. And, you know, a lot of people will say, I only need 5 hours of sleep. I function fine. And, you know, I can wake up after 5 hours and be energetic all day too. But I'm not going to be asked for ID to buy wine when I'm 51 if I do that. So 7 to 8 hours of sleep is what the experts recommend. And if you're over 40, which nobody in here is, so when you get there, if you're over 40, you can take melatonin, which is a natural supplement of a hormone that your body makes anyway. And I happen to know a lot of the anti-aging gurus in the world. And that is one of the consistent things that they always tell me, is that melatonin is like the anti-aging elixir. You can take, now some of them will say 5 milligrams, but last year I was invited to go to this amazing spa called Rancho La Puerta in Mexico. You're going there?
I'm going there.
When? Oh, she's going there in 2 weeks. Let me just tell you.
It's the best.
You think you died and went to heaven, okay? And you have to say hi to my kitty cat. I'm going to tell you after this.
Okay.
I fell in love while I was there with a cat. But anyway, there was a sleep expert there named Dr. Ruben Naiman, N-A-I-M-A-N, and he told me that actually less is more when it comes to melatonin, and he's been taking it every night for 20 years. And I mean, he has white hair and a white beard, so he kind of looks a little older than what he probably, you know, should, but his face was really perfect, and he just seemed like a young spirit. But what I do, and what Cynthia does now, is at Whole Foods you can buy these sublingual Source Naturals melatonin, 2.5 milligrams, and then I just take a tiny little bite off and dissolve it under my tongue, and I sleep like a rock every night.
A baby rock.
A baby rock. You know, you might think you're sleeping great, even if you sleep 8 hours, but if you're over 40, your sleep quality might be a little bit different. And melatonin just puts you in that right wave of sleep and REM sleep that you need. So that's one. And even though the melatonin isn't free, the sleep is. Okay, another free tip, and this is like one of my favorites. Studies show that volunteering on a regular basis, people are the healthiest and live the longest. And it's not just the same as writing a check, but it's actually one-on-one, giving of your time, volunteering. In fact, one of the first things on my agenda when I got to New York is I said, I've got to find someplace to volunteer. And I only met somebody who, she volunteers at the animal control, and I just don't have the heart for that, because I'll be taking them all home with me. So I'm looking for something else. But what I used to do in Florida every Monday night is I called the bingo numbers at the independent living facility, and that was so much fun. And I knew all my ladies' names. I had like 70 women in the group, and every Monday night. And it was so cute, because after I'd been there about a year and a half, when I would walk in the room, they would stand up and clap. You know, I mean, they were just adorable. So studies show that people who volunteer on a regular basis are the healthiest and live the longest. And I don't want to take up all your time or all your time, so I'm just going to give you my last one. Exercise is a fountain of youth. And a lot of people don't like to hear that because, do I have to go work out? So I'm going to give you 2 little tidbits about exercise and then a third one. The first one is, it's all about getting started. That's the hardest part. So what I do is I put on my little outfit, I put on my shoes, and I just say, you know what, I'm just going to fake it. You should see me do a fake jumping jack. It's really cute. But after like 5 minutes of faking it, you just find your second wind, and you get going. So put on your cutest outfit, put on your shoes, and just get going. If you have a gym membership, just drive yourself over there. If you don't have a gym membership, just do jumping jacks, or go to your Fios TV or whatever you have, and there's a lot of free workouts on there. So it doesn't cost anything. Or you can jump rope, which is another great exercise. And the second tidbit is getting back to the jumping rope. there's an anti-aging guru named Dr. Al Sears, and in fact, I love him so much, and I stalked him so much, kind of like I did with Cynthia, that he then partnered with me in a marketing endeavor because he just couldn't believe that I was such a big fan of his. But he has this program called PACE, P-A-C-E, and I forget what it stands for, same as GLOW. But anyway, he has this PACE program, and what they're finding out, the exercise gurus, and this is the best news ever, you don't have to exercise and go jogging and run a marathon and work out for an hour a day like they're trying to tell you. This is the exact way to get the best kind of exercise, and that is 10 to 12 minutes a day of progressively more intense but shorter intervals. So if I'm jumping rope, I'm going to start out going not so hard for a while, and then I'm going to rest, get my heart rate down, and each successive interval is going to be harder and shorter, and that's it. 5 intervals and you're done, and then put some yoga in there. Barbara is awesome. See her after. And, or Pilates, or the restful type, some good weight-bearing exercises with weights, and you'll stay like a teenager for the rest of your life.